Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's Late Night with the Gringo. It's episode 30, and we are on the eve of a historic day. We got plenty to talk about when it comes to that. So, like many of you, we just let me fix my hat here. I look like an idiot.
You look. Oh, does that really help you?
Does this really help me?
Like
many of you, we just finished watching the football. So it was a good weekend of football.
Yeah, pretty good weekend
of football.
A couple of shocks.
But you know what? It is what it is. But, oh, God, I need my coffee because it's been a long day. It's been a long day. I've been up since, I've been up for a while.
You've been up for too long, Gringo.
Wow.
It's almost nap time for you.
Almost. So yeah, we are on the eve of a historic day. Only one other president has ever done this in history, and that's Grover Cleveland. Been a massive rally at the Capital One Center today. Trump showed up and had a little YMCA thing going on. I was going to play it, but then I realized, I'd get copyrighted for the song. But
no,
Trump,
Gringo, do it. No, play it.
No,
you can break the line.
I don't want to break that line. So, yeah, Trump was speaking, and then the village people came out, as old as they are. May I look as good when I'm that age? Maybe I am that age. No, they're still older than I am.
Well.
Oh, yeah.
I can't tell.
They sang. The village people came out saying YMCA. Trump stood there and danced a little bit. Hey, man, he's having a party. They're having a good time. This is Joe Biden's last night in the White House. I think he's at the White House tonight. Who knows? He might have just died. Yeah,
he's in the White. He's got to be the White House for transition of power and everything.
Yeah,
yes,
he's the president and all that. So
he's signing acts tonight.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. But
speaking of White House.
So, so it's going to be good. And we're going to stream. We're going to get up early tomorrow. We don't usually get up early. If you know, I do Late Night with the Gringo. Why? Because I have a hard time sleeping at night, so I end up sleeping late into the day. So usually I don't get up till about probably 10, 11. If you're East Coast, I'm not up till noon. So, but we're going to get up early. We're going to stream the festivities. We're going to live stream it, comment on it, just have some fun watching it. That's what it is. It's what it's all about. So, we got a few things to talk about. It's been a real interesting weekend. More news than I thought would come out this weekend. I was going to, I know one of the top headlines, and I know that you mentioned it as well, is the Israeli hostage deal with Hamas, the ceasefire. I know 3 hostages were released, 3 women. They are back with their families after over 2 years of being in captivity, of being a hostage. And thank God for that. We're giving up. Israel's given up a lot of hostages, or a lot of prisoners. I should say not hostage. Israel's giving up a lot of political prisoners. I was really going to steer away from the story just because I want to see how this all plays out. This is the early stages of a ceasefire deal, and these things have a tendency to go south real quick, real fast. But as long as people keep getting their freedom back, families, unfortunately, some families are not getting their families back. Some families are not getting their loved ones back. They're getting back remains to bury, and that's a shame. But at this point, I think anything coming close to an end to this conflict, or at least pausing this conflict, is a good thing. But I'm going to stay away from it right now. I really want to see what happens after Donald Trump takes office. I want to see what happens.
It's too fresh.
Yeah, it's too fresh.
It's weird to kind of comment on something that's just sort of now developing again. And
I don't trust Iran. Never have, never will. And I'm an Arab, and I don't trust Iran. So
I don't think most people do in the Middle East trust Iran.
We'll see what happens, especially after their arch nemesis Donald Trump takes the oath. But I hope everybody's had a great weekend. So let's get to some of this stuff here. I definitely think the first thing we got to talk about. Well, let's talk about TikTok. I got a lot to say. I've been giving this one a lot of thought, and I don't use TikTok, so I don't have a dog in the fight either way. With the exception of the fact is, I believe in the Constitution, the rule of law. I believe in national security. I believe in the protecting of American citizens, and this is a case where I find myself torn between those values because I think there's a case to be made. I reread the Supreme Court decision. It's about 24 pages long. And I have to say, I'm not a lawyer, as whatever my academic background is, I'm not a lawyer. I cannot speak on legal matters as if I was one, but I was taken aback by the way in which the lawyers for TikTok really argued the case. And they argued it in terms of free speech, which I do believe is a good argument, but I think there was a better argument to be made. Now, TikTok went dead, or it went dark. I shouldn't say that. It went dark. But all of a sudden it's back. Why? Because President Trump saved it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Joe Biden signed the law. And now after a few hours of going dark and some people, you still told me some people called 911.
Yes. Yeah. Teenagers were reported. It's pretty bad.
What the hell? Like,
people were panicking. Even though they should have known beforehand.
We should know before. But wait a minute. What kind of world do we live in where we teach our teenagers that if your social media is not working, you're to call the emergency 911 call?
I think some of these teens were really young, from what I understand, kids from the report. They didn't call 911. I say 911. They called the non-emergency number.
Okay.
So I just say 911 because it's easier, and that's what the headlines say. Because I think there are some 911 calls, from if I understand. But most of them are non-emergency calls. A lot of them were teens, kids. But it's crazy to me. It's crazy. I just don't get it.
Quick, call the police. TikTok isn't working. Oh, my God. So the president-elect said he will issue an executive order Monday to delay the ban while he brokers a sale. What that sale is going to look like, I don't know. So it's going to be about a 90-day ban. The app has returned on web and mobile, but is not available in Apple and Google stores to purchase at this point. So there's a little bit of...
You can use it if you download it. It's kind of like, I don't know if you're familiar with Flappy Bird. When the original owner took that off the platform.
Yeah.
Whatever phone had Flappy Bird on it was worth a lot more.
Really?
Yeah, because you could no longer download it.
Yeah, I remember that. I worked for Apple at the time, and everybody kept coming in and they talked about and I wasn't into games, mobile games at that point. I was just trying to get my feet wet. And Flappy Bird. I'm like, and people would come in, they'd be like, "Can you help me with Flappy Bird?" I have no idea.
That it was because it was off off the App Store and off the Google Store. It was off everything.
Okay. Right. So TikTok was down for about 14 hours. I feel better that it's back because of the people who rely on it for business and making money. Sometimes, we make fun of people. Oh, you're an influencer. You're this, you're that. Whatever those terms are, whatever. If people are making a living or making some sort of money or side hustle off of it, good. You want those people to continue to be able to have the life they are having. Now, let's go back to the argument. So was it a free speech issue? I think it's possible to say it was a free speech issue. The Supreme Court ruled 9-0, which was extremely surprising to me, that Congress had a right to ban the app based off of national security concerns because there was the potential that China would use its laws, its regulatory power, which says that if you're a Chinese company, you have to, if China's government says you have to, if China's government said to TikTok, we need all of the information you have for purposes of intelligence gathering and things like that, or espionage, you have no choice. If you're TikTok, you have to give over that information. Well, that hadn't happened, so there was just the potential for a crime. So that was the reasoning behind. Now, with that, there are so many different slopes, and there's a couple that we're going to go down. I don't like that argument because it's like saying to somebody, I can take away your First Amendment right. I can create a law to take away your Second Amendment right. Let's do a Second Amendment. Let's do that one. I can take away your right to bear arms because I think because Congress thinks there's a potential that you will do harm. Even though you have not committed any crime, there is no evidence that there has been a crime committed. There is no evidence that there has been any type of regulatory or functionality that's been breached in any way, but they can still take away your right. So again, is that a precedent to be used? The Congress thinks there's the potential for danger. Congress thinks there's the potential for a national security breach or national security concern. Congress one day could be full of people that think that owning or bearing arms, the Second Amendment, constitutes a national security concern because too many people have them. And there could be the potential for a crime or a potential for whatever. And so there's a precedent there. And precedent means a lot when it comes to Supreme Court law. They rely on it heavily. In fact, they relied on precedent to make this case. They used court cases from back when television and radio, both when television and radio came into being, the Supreme Court made decisions based on how to regulate it, on the potential that it could have a bad effect on society. So there's that. There's the slope of precedent where, can this be applied somewhere else to our constitutional rights? My biggest concern is that with TikTok being banned, if I was a lawyer for TikTok, I would have argued that it violated both 5th and 14th Amendment of the Constitution. Now, the 5th Amendment is called due process. What due process? Now, we're punishing now, before it's the U.S. Constitution, but we have people who are U.S. citizens that are using it, and the company is operating within the United States, so therefore it does gain equal protection. It does cover that, right? Just like an illegal immigrant that crosses the border, technically they're covered under the Constitution. It's equal protection. So there's the 5th Amendment due process. There was no real trial brought for a crime
or conviction. It was just allegations that had technically were baseless.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna say they're fully baseless. I'm sure there's some genuine concerns.
Yeah,
but baseless in terms of evidence.
They could be general concern, but I mean, how can you punish something or someone or an entity that has not committed a crime, but you can't have evidence to commit a crime? So one, that to me, it violates the due process. And again, that sets a precedent for later on to be used in other cases that may involve other Bill of Rights. And then you have the 14th Amendment where, okay, let's just say we agree that TikTok is a danger and TikTok is this and TikTok is that and they need to be banned because of the potential for a crime there. What I would have argued is in front of the Supreme Court is that you have American companies that have done this already, and it's been proven. You had the Patriot Act, and you had mass communications being culled by the NSA. You had Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint. You had all the telecoms in on it, saying, "Hey, yeah, we'll let you." And so they collected every email, every text message, every phone call.
This is not a unique concern, I should say, with TikTok. Honestly, this should be more of a concern internally.
Yeah, internally. Because they've already done it, but they were never, we never brought them to trial.
Texas just launched a lawsuit against Allstate today.
Yeah.
I believe it's Allstate.
Allstate Insurance.
Because they have illegally, at least, or unlawfully, been gathering and collecting data through other apps like Life360.
Yeah. And using it to
jack up prices.
Yeah, manipulate insurance prices based on location. So we've got that. I'm sure Meta, Google, all these places have used or culled our information and used it. So the U.S. government has done it already. What they're accusing China of, they've already done. So how can you, again, when you go to the 14th and 5th Amendments of the Constitution, how can you say, as a Supreme Court, yeah, it's okay to ban this company because there's the potential for a crime, even though that the government has done nothing to prove it, but done nothing to punish the previous entities that are in the United States that have actually committed the crime and easily provable. It's even easily been documented.
And who knows where that date is when God has probably been sold, brokered.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Trump is looking at this from a constitutional standpoint, not only of free speech. I think, first of all, he's looking at it from a populist standpoint where it's like, okay, people want it back. There's 170 million users. People use it for business. People use it for free speech, all that.
There's also political capital you can leverage probably from
absolutely. But I also think he's looking at it from a standpoint of protecting the Constitution. Like, this doesn't make sense. There's definitely some scholars in his ears, some constitutional advisors in his ears going, this could cause problems down the line for the Second Amendment, the First Amendment, all that. It could cause problems down the line for the 14th Amendment or the 8th Amendment or, for cruel and unusual punishment, so anything that deals with equal protection can bleed out to everything else. And so I think Trump is absolutely correct in wanting to stop this or put a halt to this ban. And if all of a sudden the US and China are now 50-50 in on this app, which might happen, or a US company's 50-50, and I think that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to say, hey, China, you want to keep it, that's great. How about, you guys own 50% of it, and this American company over here owns 50% of it, whatever that might be, whether it's the Kevin O'Leary conglomerate or whatever who wants to buy it. That could be a solution. Either way, I don't think TikTok's going to go dark again. I think before 90 days is up, you're going to have something that is brokered here by our president-elect, soon-to-be president. All right? So now Biden officials said they would leave enforcement of the law up to the Trump administration. Web hosting services were not confident they would be prosecuted. The law outlines stiff penalties for violations that could cost the companies billions. And that's why I think Apple's playing it safe, and the Google Store, Apple Store playing it safe, because if they do sell it right now, they are technically in violation of the law, even though Trump put a ban on it and they don't want anything retroactively coming at them. They don't want to be, in violation of federal law, things that involve national security. That's billions of dollars. Not like Apple doesn't have it. Believe me, no offense, I work for Apple. Believe me, $1 billion to Apple is like when I find $20 in my pocket that I forgot about. It's ridiculous how much money they have. So TikTok hopefully the whole TikTok fiasco will hopefully come to an end in the coming days. But that's where we stand on that. But I think it's very, very dangerous what the Biden administration allowed to happen. I think it's very, very dangerous what this Supreme Court allowed to happen. And I think they're smarter than what we think. And I think when they make a precedent like this, they know they're opening doors to other things. That we know they are. And if there's one thing they'll be really, really coherent about and really, really aware about, is those first 10 amendments and making sure that they stay intact. So that's where I go with this. I think this is less about TikTok now and more about the survival of certain other freedoms within the Constitution. And that's my opinion on that. And who knows, maybe after TikTok's back up, I don't know. I'm enjoying YouTube. I got to fix my Instagram stuff. And everybody tells me, your mother always tells me, get on Facebook. I'm like, I've never been on Facebook in my life. I don't even know. Does anybody use Facebook?
I mean, I have technically a Facebook account, but I've never used it. I know people use it.
What would I do on Facebook? Just find out how old people are?
No, I mean, apparently they've got a gaming channel now. They got live streams too.
Fantastic. Whatever. So maybe I'll check it out. So you know what I remember? You know what I when I first started with Apple, the big thing were Vines. That went away quickly.
Oh, that was bought up, I think.
Yeah, that went away quick.
Or they went bankrupt. I can't remember.
That went away quick.
They did something.
Every day there was a new app in Apple that we had to learn about and just be like, oh, just be aware of it. Stuff like that. It was crazy. So I almost couldn't keep up with it. It was crazy. So that's TikTok. So how do you feel about that, young man? Your generation in TikTok? You don't really give a shit.
I don't really care. Yeah, I really care.
Your mother protected. Your mother kept you off social media for a long time. Your mother, it was always a fight. It was always like, they're too young for phones, and I got you guys phones. Remember, I got you, the first one I got you was a 5C. When the 5Cs came out, we were living in Michigan at the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you the 5Cs. And then your mother was like, no social media whatsoever. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I think finally when you were 15? You were allowed social media? 16?
I mean, even then, I didn't have social media ever growing up.
Yeah.
I didn't use it.
Yeah.
You guys didn't mind? I think that was more of a problem with the other one.
Oh, yeah, he's all over that stuff.
He wanted it. He
posts everything. He's just all over it.
Now he is, yeah. But
yeah, so. Oh, okay. Speaking of Trump, so like I said, I can't play it because of the copyright, but there you go. Trump dancing with the village people at the rally tonight to the YMCA. He's definitely, he's just living life. But tomorrow, woo! Tomorrow we're gonna have a party.
Big day,
and he's gonna sign some executive orders. So let's talk immigration.
We're gonna see what he does. This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, let's talk immigration. So he's already announced large immigration or deportation starting tomorrow. Like Atlanta's been named, Chicago's been named,
everyone's been named.
A lot of other big cities been named. Some of the mayors of those cities are saying, and governors of the states saying they're not going to comply, which only means that they're not going to let local state law enforcement get involved. That's fine. ICE will do their thing. They've been waiting to do their thing. So big deal. Now, here's the thing about immigration. I don't know. Did I save it on this or did I have it on the other one? Let me see here. Hold on one second. They found a tunnel. They found another tunnel.
Where?
Heading into Texas, buddy. Heading into Texas.
I mean, are we surprised?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Mexico to seal 1,000-foot long tunnel from Juarez to Texas after the U.S. officials found the secret entrance. So they weren't going to seal it until we found it? General Jose Lemus, commander of Ciudad Juarez, or the Juarez City military garrison.
No, that's Ciudad.
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 I was like, what city are you talking about?
I'm a New Englander speaking Spanish. Said the tunnel must have taken a long time to build, suggesting it could have been 1 or 2 years. Look at this picture.
I would love to see this picture.
We got this stupid ad here. Yes.
Wow. It's got ventilation too and everything.
Yeah, it's got wires. A secret 1,000 long foot tunnel between the U.S. and Mexico will be sealed after it was discovered earlier this month. U.S. Customs and Border Protection said its agents found a completed man-made tunnel after inspecting a storm drain system in Texas. According to officials, the tunnel runs between the Mexican city of Ciudad, whatever you want to call it, Juarez, which is not a nice place. That's not a tourist destination.
Pretty rough place.
Pretty rough place. Makes Detroit look like the Bahamas. And the U.S. city of El Paso, which are separated by the Rio Grande and the U.S.-Mexico border. General Jose Lemus, commander of Ciudad Juarez military garrison, said on Sunday the Mexican officials would seal the 1,000-foot long underpass, according to CBS News. Believe me, folks, this is one of 100 different tunnels. It's one of 100 different tunnels.
I can tell you as a beaner myself, we keep finding tunnels down here.
Don't say that word. I think that's what got us demonetized.
No, it wasn't. I didn't say that last time.
Yeah, you did.
Well, I said it the time before, too, the week before.
Okay.
I said many weeks before.
Stop getting me demonetized.
I'm Mexican.
He added that the tunnel first discovered on January 10th must have taken a long time. Okay, this is repeating. The Mexican Attorney General's office is responsible for the investigation. Oh, well, then no corruption there. The general said, and will be in charge of determining if authorities were complicit in its construction. Of course they were. You cannot build 1,000-foot long tunnel under 2 different cities without someone being aware of it. Someone is going to hear something. This running wire ventilation. I mean, this isn't some guy in a spoon. He's not there, This isn't, Andy Dufresne in the Shawshank Redemption just dumping a little bit of dirt out in the yard every day for 20 years straight. This took some doing and engineering. This took some mechanical, some machinery, definitely. Of course somebody was complicit. The tunnel's 6 feet high and 4 feet wide. It's fitted with lighting and a ventilation system and is braced with wood throughout to prevent collapse. It comes as both the U.S. and strengthened border ahead of the inauguration of Donald Trump. The president-elect promised mass deportations throughout the election campaign and told Sky's U.S. partner network NBC on Saturday they would begin very, very, very early, very quickly after he's sworn in as president. So, yeah. Okay, so let's have some... It's a little truth time here, folks. So yes, I live south of the border, and I'm married to a family that is Mexican, and have been for a long time. How you doing, Mike? Yes, you are half Mexican. So one day, it was about a month ago, and we're unfortunately there was a family member who passed away about a month ago, and my wife attended the wake, which had other family members there, and one of her cousins was there, who was supposed to have been in the United States. And of course, my wife has always been someone who does everything legally. She went to the United States legally, residence legally, became a citizen legally, paid her taxes, all that fun stuff, right? But she's the exception to the rule when it comes to a lot of the people that we know. And so this person was back over into Mexico and asked, like, hey, how did you make, this is like, and he had crossed like 5 different times. He had been there and crossed back and been kicked out like 5 different times. So he tells the story. He's like, no, it's real easy. You just have to, once you get to the border, you just have to be with the right group because they'll open the door. And he meant the other side, not the Mexicans. He meant the Americans. There's a certain day, they'll tell you the certain day, the certain time, they'll leave the door open. No one will be looking for 45 minutes. And that's your chance. Get through the door. Once you're through, you're good. Just keep going. Just keep running. And that's how that works. So this idea that, we see all the videos, and yes, those are all real, people crawling through barbed wire and fencing and whatnot. But no, don't be fooled into thinking that there's this wall of people that are just steadfast and like, stay out of here. No, if they can make a little cheddar cheese, they're making a little bit of cheddar cheese by opening that door. And why? You know what? If you work for the Biden administration and had no support or resources and was told just to, kind of like fake it as you go, hey, why not make a little cheddar cheese, right? But that's what happens. That's what this gentleman told you. He goes, hey, I'll be going back for my 6th time. He knows exactly where to go, exactly who the right person is to talk to, exactly the right location and the right piece of fencing where the gate will open, the right crossing, the right time, the right day, and he'll be right back in. And unfortunately, for people who think that they can just lock down the border, look, you've got thousands of tunnels like this, hundreds of tunnels. I won't say thousands. You got hundreds of tunnels like this that exist, right? So you got everything that's underground. You got everything that's underground. Then you get the people above ground who aren't doing their job, and they're making, they're making a little retirement fund for themselves. And then you got everybody else, and it's a free-for-all. It's literally, you've got a tidal wave coming in, and you're trying to bail out your boat with a bucket. That's what this is. So hopefully, we'll see what all this happens with all these mass deportations and all that. I'm sure immigration is going to go down, or illegal immigration is going to go down. I'm sure all that. I'm sure it's going to get better. You're going to see improvements. But the idea of building a wall and saying that's it, you build a wall, they go under it. They've been going under it for decades now. So it's this is a larger, more complex problem than what a lot of people want to make it out to be. And like it, don't like it, that's just the reality of it. All right? Look at it this way. I mean, it's probably the only country people are dying to get into. The United States of America. That's how great we are.
Pretty good land of opportunity, if I might say so myself. I mean, even when I was studying abroad, people were like, I want to go to the U.S.
Yeah.
They would study abroad for a semester. They talk a lot of crap about it. They're a little snobby over there. But then they talk about how much of a wonderful time it was, and they'd like to go back and maybe work there for a bit. I'm like, these are the same people who talk shit about us.
Yeah. Well, look, I've been down here, and it's very hard to, if you want to get a job in Mexico, it's very hard to do that. In other countries, it's very hard to do because they have citizenship requirements. They literally have laws that say, hey, to the company, let's just take Belgium, right? I actually was up for a job in Belgium with Apple years ago, right? At the time I spoke fairly decent French. They were going to open new stores. They wanted some American executives to go over there and help out and open up the store. And the recruiter called me and said, hey, everything looks great except for this. The Belgian government is going to say to us, why can't you find a Belgian citizen to do this job?
It's same thing in Italy.
Same thing in Italy. Same thing in France. Same thing so all over Europe.
And because they don't have the economy.
Yeah.
And they have problems. I mean, especially in Italy. There's multiple news stories about this where you have older young adults in their late 20s still living with their parents, not because they want to. They're looking for work. They just don't have the jobs.
They don't have the jobs.
For their major or whatever they studied.
Yeah, so as long as America, it's honestly, it's the curse of being the land of opportunity. It's the curse of being the most powerful nation and the richest nation on earth, is that people are going to do whatever they can to get into it and make whatever money they can off of it. So yes, we can build a wall. That's part of the solution. Yes, we can deport people. Yes, that's part of the solution. But if you think that that's going to end it, it's not. This is a very sophisticated business. There are even stories down here that you don't get in the American press that we see. Like, we're talking actual aviation companies and freight companies that have their own fleets of planes, fly people in. You hear it all the time. It's too big of an industry to make it so simple that you're gonna build a wall and be done with it. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna build a wall, and that's not gonna make the whole thing go away. There's gonna be way more done, way more executed, way more planned out, way more investigated. I mean, this tunnel story, if you go back every year, I could go back 20 years and find a tunnel story for every year. I remember one they found in San Diego, coming out of Tijuana.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one that they found in Arizona. This is probably the second or third one that I've seen in the last 5 years about Texas.
The abandoned KFC.
Yeah.
That was in New Mexico, I believe, right?
It was in New Mexico. So, so immigration. So yeah, there's going to be roundups. It's not going to look pretty. That's the thing. All these people who are saying we need it, it's not going to look pretty. These visuals are not going to look pretty. This is going to be the first time the media is going to have a chance to really smear Trump and make him look to be this evil person, but don't buy into it. Yes, there's going to be ICE agents en masse gathering up, arresting men, women, and children because they're here illegally, and they're going to put them through the process of due process, and they're going to deport them. And it's not going to look pretty on TV. It's going to be cut up and edited, and we're going to look like Gestapo tactics. But it's what's going to happen, and we have to be able to handle that. We're going to be able to handle those images, and it's what's going to happen, and it's what's going to happen. But immigration is so much more of a complex issue than just building a wall and deporting people, because they're not going to give up. There's too much money involved. Too much at stake. So you're going to continue to see things like these tunnels being unearthed and things like that. So that's immigration. And
a lot of people had these deportation orders prior, and I'm sure there's ways for these people who are living normal lives and law-abiding, and there's ways for them to probably stay in, I imagine, because you can't get rid of everybody.
Well, but also, the other part of it, the immigration system needs to be fixed.
Yes.
So, and by fixed, I mean this. It took years. So my wife came here, or my wife, before she was my wife, actual legal visa to visit the United States, went to the embassy, went through the immigration process to come over and visit, got the proper work permits, got the proper authorization to go to school and take a couple classes and whatnot, start learning English. Came to the United States with nothing but the clothes on her back. Right? Literally, she's telling me I didn't have enough money for a pillow, so I used my jacket that I would wear every day. So go figure. It was tough. But after we got married, we're like, oh, let's start. We're married. It should be easy. We're married. We have children. Getting your permanent residence should be easy. And it wasn't. It was form after form after form after form. Some of the forms, like I remember printing out one form. Filling it out was 2 pages long. That's it. That's all it was, 2 pages long. And I think it was the one to initiate the whole process. And the first payment on this form was $1,000. And this is almost 15 years ago. I can only imagine what it is now. We weren't rich. We're not rich. We've never been rich. But $1,000, I'm working. She's pregnant, trying to become permanent resident. We got a little baby at home, got a mortgage. To say to somebody, give me $1,000 for this one form, just to start the process, and it's just the process itself is a government process, which makes it just suck and it makes it difficult. It needs to be streamlined. It needs to be like, hey, oh, you're here legally. Oh, you paid your taxes. You filed all your proper forms. Everything's all set. We've interviewed you and all that. It needs to be quick. Yeah, it can cost some money, but I think just to get her permanent residency, I ended up paying something like in total almost $9,000. And this was at a lawyer. Some people get lawyers who cost even much because it just does a lot of legality. I think I paid ended up between $8,000 and $9,000 just to get the permanent residency.
Really?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And then finally she did get her citizenship a few years. What I hated about the citizenship thing is they were still under pandemic rules, even though it was like 2 years after the pandemic. So they wouldn't let me. They wouldn't have let me into the ceremony to see her swearing in. So I didn't get to see my wife sworn in as an American citizen. She sent me a picture and for holding her new flag and her citizenship thing and her certificate, and she was so proud. She had become an American. And but it's a broken system. It needs to
it needs reform. It needs reform desperately.
Yeah, and I tell this story. I tell this story a lot. So. Being married to her, I get to know a lot of the Latino community in New England and in Massachusetts, especially central Massachusetts. And people ask, you might be wondering, okay, I'll start out here. So I used to work for a company, I'm not going to name it. And I'd work overnight, and my whole crew was, I'd say 98% Brazilian. And you had this whole thing, telecheck or e-verify or whatever it was. that the Clinton administration put into place to make sure that you catch illegal immigrants from trying to apply for work with fake names and fake numbers and whatnot. And it never worked because everybody who applied to this place, E-Verify was like, yeah, they're good to go. And they were all fake names and all fake numbers. So one day, I was told by my boss, you're going to get a new worker. And her name is Bailey O'Donnell. And I'm in New England. I'm in Massachusetts. I'm like, oh, Irish girl. Fantastic. So I'm waiting that night. 9 o'clock shows up, and here comes this new girl. So comes walking up to me. She's about 4'0", brown skin, brown hair, brown eyes. And I'm like, looking, my name's Bailey O'Donnell. And she said it with a very Portuguese accent. And I thought to myself, this is the least Irish person I've ever met in my life. Okie dokie. And of course, she had passed the E-Verify, so there's nothing I could do. No matter how much I could say, this is not right. She had a right to work. I would be putting the company in legal jeopardy. So after about a week or so of working, say about 2 weeks, it was about after the overnight shift is over, and I'm getting ready to leave. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. The store is open. And I get called from my boss on the walkie-talkie. Hey, can you meet me up at the customer service desk? I said, sure, no problem. I'm exhausted. I want to leave. Sure, I get up there. And he stops me. He says, hey, you see that woman over there standing with the service desk? I said, yeah. That's Bailey O'Donnell. I said, that's not Bailey O'Donnell. Bailey O'Donnell was working last night. She already went home. No. That's the real Bailey O'Donnell. And she wants to meet the person who's using her name and her number because there's been some tax problems that have come her way. I'm like, crap. I'm like, okie dokie, I'm going home. This is your problem. You let her work here. And so that person disappeared after a while. That person never came back to work that night. So, but that's what happened. And so you think, how easy is it to get numbers and how easy it is to get identity? Okay, so I asked. I said, sure. So I met this person and I said, so how is it that you so easily? And this person provided Social Security cards and fake IDs to illegal immigrants. And I asked him, I said, how is it that you so easily get these numbers and these things printed up and whatnot? And he looked at me and he goes, my wife works in the Social Security Administration. She actually worked in the Office of Social Security in the state of Massachusetts. So the numbers they were giving out were real. And she was illegal too. So it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It really is. How when I see the immigration issue and I get people's fervor and passion about it, build a wall. It's not that simple. It's so not that simple. Yes, you can start out with those things, but if you really want to solve it, you've got to get into the institutions and be like, okay, we've got to stop this ID theft. We got to figure out who's working where with these sensitive areas, this sensitive information, because that's what's happening. And it's been happening. And this has been going on for years and years and years and years. So, yes. So hopefully Trump does what he says he's going to do, is fix the immigration system because it needs to be fixed. Yes, we need to seal and secure our border. Yes, that's a security issue. But the larger issue as a whole is not going to get fixed because I've been living, witnessing it. And it's amazing. And, it's a lot, like I said, it's a lot more complicated than what you would think. So anyways, but that's immigration in a nutshell for us. What do you think?
I think everything you said is valid. I think it's correct. Immigration needs reform. There's problems within the office. There's corruption.
Yeah. And
I don't want to call them necessarily criminals, but pretty much they're criminals inside the office working. I mean, you can't be giving away people's social securities.
Yeah, $100. At the time when I met your mother, this was 24 years ago. It was $100, 50 and 50. 50 for a social security card, 50 for a driver's license. Yeah, any state you want. You want to be California, be California. You want to be Massachusetts, whatever, make it. Social security, no problem. No problem whatsoever. So, and no one's checking on this stuff. No one's going back and tracking it, seeing what's going on, see if there's duplicates in the system. System don't catch it. It just doesn't catch it, and it's a real mess. Anyways, all right. Now I know we covered this before, but I think it's really important to talk about. Is Biden has now authorized the Equal Rights Amendment. He said in his last big statement that is now part of the Constitution. And I just want to tell you that he can't do that. It's not part of the Constitution. Whether you're a fan of the ERA or not, the Equal Rights Amendment, which is, it's been voted on and passed by enough states and state legislatures to become a part of the Constitution, but it missed its deadline by about 34 years.
34 years, yeah.
34, 35
no, 36.
years. 36 years.
It was about 1989?
Yeah, 1989.
It's 2025, so yes, 36.
Yeah. So it missed its deadline by 36 years. So the National Archivist will not publish it. And the National Archivist has the final say on this. So Biden's out there
claiming something that
claiming that
he shouldn't be
claiming that he has altered the U.S. Constitution by his very self. And it's a total lie. It's a falsehood. And I think it's really another sign of just, you know what, to be honest with you, I think after he's out of office, you'll never hear from him again. I think after he's out of office, he's going to go sit on a beach, be in his home. I don't know. I mean, he's not going to go on TV. No one's going to put him on TV unless they're doing it for ratings to see just an old man babble incoherently. I don't know how much longer he lasts. I just don't foresee it. It's got to be it's lunacy. It's dementia. It's got to be some sort of other. There's got to be some other ailment on there for him to get up and just in a grandiose manner state that he's changed the U.S. Constitution because he felt like it. So he hasn't, and it'll be interesting to see him tomorrow on stage. It'll be interesting to see his face. It'll be interesting to see how he reacts. It'll be interesting to see if he's even paying attention. And actually, not even on stage. I don't even know if there's got to be a stage. It's going to be in a rotunda. It's got to be in a rotunda. So there you go. I would think that they've built something.
We have no sneak peek of it, correct?
No sneak peek yet. No. Let's see here. All right. Not sure how I feel about this one. This came out today. I guess Trump and the Huck Tua girl have something in common. They both launched crypto meme coins. Trump launches his own crypto meme coin, ballooning his net worth ahead of his inauguration. Okay. Is this legal? I mean, it's got to be, right? He's not president yet. President-elect Donald Trump late Friday launched a cryptocurrency token that exploded in value overnight, potentially increasing his net worth by tens of billions of dollars on paper, just days before he's set to be sworn in as president. Trump launched the so-called meme coin, a digital token with no intrinsic real-world value that is traded on a digital ledger technology called blockchain. So Bitcoin. Basically, it's like a Bitcoin. We're all familiar with Bitcoin and all that stuff, right? With posts on his social media site and X after 9 p.m., prompting the asset to soar in value. Its market capitalization was above $5 billion as of 2:30 p.m. Saturday, according to data from CoinGecko, and it has seen more than $11 billion in trading volume. He's not allowed to own this after he gets inaugurated, right?
Like own the coin or like own
the company?
Oh yeah, he's not allowed to.
So he's going to have to divest. But I mean,
I'm sure there's already an agreement drawn up somewhere.
This
is weird.
It is weird.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem very. I mean, there's got to be some sort of ethics thing here. The Trump-owned company called CIC Digital LLC owns 80% of the coin supply, according to its website. 200 million of the tokens are currently available, with the circulation set to grow to 1 billion over the next 3 years, according to the site. Dude, look that up. CIC Digital LLC. How much is
it called?
CIC, the letter CIC, Digital LLC. The product launch illustrates the lengths Trump is going to embrace the crypto industry and blurred the ethical lines he may be crossing as he prepares to take office. So wait a minute. Now, anything he does in the world of crypto to prop it up, isn't that propping him up?
Technically, yes.
Okay. All right.
I'm assuming you're reading the Forbes.
Yeah. No, Politico. I'm reading Politico.
The Forbes got one on it.
But there's no website, CIC website?
No, there isn't. There's not that one I can find. I wonder if I look up.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can get to this. Yep, there it is. There you go. Allocation. Wow.
I just get articles.
Oh my
I got
God.
an X account.
The only official Trump meme. Join the Trump community. This is history in the making. Dude, they make him look like an action figure. Like he's all skinny and everything. Dude, this is weird.
This is awesome.
Buy now with a debit card.
Dude, they made it look like a Bitcoin. Almost. Just with his face on it.
Yeah. Fight, fight, fight. This is weird, man.
Not for this?
I don't know. I guess.
No. No, I when did he do this? Was this yesterday? Today?
Yeah.
I mean, there must be. If he's the owner, or is he just being licensed to use?
No, he's the owner. His net worth is now on paper tens of billions of dollars more.
Interesting.
The Trump, the crypto president, a community celebrating courage and strength. Trump, fight, fight, fight. And it goes, $ Trump are now freely tradable on the blockchain. On July 13th, 2024, President Trump faced death and came up fighting. With his fist in the air and the iconic battle cry, fight, fight, fight. President Trump showed the world what a leader is made of. His strength and courage ignited a movement becoming the most memorable meme of the century.
I don't know if you call that a meme.
That's not really a meme. Now you can get your piece of history. This Trump meme celebrates a leader who doesn't back down no matter the odds. Join the Trump community. We're all about fighting for what matters. Allocation. Here we go. Creators, 36%. 18%. Yeah, they own like 10% liquidity. Public distribution, 10%. So only 10% has been distributed publicly. What the it's buy now with a debit card or crypto. Buy crypto with crypto?
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Probably Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bitcoin.
Other things like that.
Okay. That's weird. Dude, he looks... This is weird. Dude, if I showed this to your mother, she'd buy it. How to buy. Okay, yeah, buy now. I'm not going to hit that while we're live, but that's interesting. All right. Let's get out of that. Dude, he's going to have some trouble with this. He's going to have some trouble with this.
He's getting some allegations. If he doesn't passing anything crypto, they're going to point to this.
This might go to... This is... The SEC is going to go crazy over this. Congress, this is an opening for Congress, for Democrats.
Absolutely.
To investigate. Especially if it goes south. Especially if it's like I said, something bad, you know, if it turns into something like the what's it, the hot tour meme girl, whatever.
Oh yeah, that
the one that became famous by
saying hot tour,
yeah, whatever. Anyways, I mean, she's probably going to prison.
How is she?
Dude, the way it sounds, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it looks like people got you know, friggin' scammed out of money. So hopefully this doesn't turn into something like that. But dear Lord, this is crazy. He is the crypto president, and he's got his own crypto. I guess new era, new century. I guess I've never heard of a president. I mean, doing something like this, or even creating a. But it's there. It is. There it is.
Well, are you going to get some Trump coin?
No, I'm not going to get any Trump coin.
Sounds like a sound investment to me. I mean, he's only president.
I don't think we
passed that legislation.
I don't think that's a good. I don't think it's a good investment. I don't think it's a good.
I think it's a really good investment, or it's a really bad investment.
I no.
50-50.
No,
really good because he can pass. Well, he doesn't pass it, but Congress can pass legislation and sign off on it. Or really bad because it's just gonna fail immediately. I just why now? I mean, yeah, you want to make money? Great, make money. Hopefully it does well. Did you hear that he's gonna actually have the government buy up Bitcoin? What? For like reserves?
Yeah.
I don't blame him. Reason I say that is, I mean, what was it? Is it El Salvador I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
He did that, 2021, a couple years ago?
Yeah.
And that's worked wonders, I think.
It has. So, I mean, he's going to, he can't do that himself. He's going to have Congress do that. Congress controls, the House of Representatives controls money and spending. So, I mean, as far as buying up Bitcoin, I mean, I don't know how much, Bitcoin left is out there. I mean, there's only a finite amount. It's not unlimited. Am I correct in that assumption?
I forget how it works. It's a whole computer system, math, and
I mean, I know how it works, but I didn't know if there's a limit to everything.
I think there is kind of. It's not exactly clear.
Dude, let's make our own Bitcoin. Let's make our own meme coin. The Gringo coin. Welcome south of the border. I'll be in jail by the day it's end.
Yeah, probably not gonna work out too well.
There we
go. Will we put your face on it?
I don't think putting my face on it's not going to sell.
It's Caesar's face.
No. We've got to get like some El Guapo, some handsome guy.
Put an avocado on it.
Just put an avocado on it.
He said guapo, and I was like, that's it.
You just put a picture of me, just kind of like, I don't know, crawling under the fence. I don't know, something like that. That'll be me. Oh man. So. Interesting time. What else we got here? See, we've already covered the ERA. We've covered TikTok. So he saved TikTok. He's become a very well. I wonder if Elon had anything to do with this. He's got his Doge, right? That's his meme coin, Elon's coin. Isn't it Doge or?
Yeah, it's Doge.
So I wonder if he had anything to do with this, or if he helped set it up, or. It didn't. The articles don't mention him at all. And if he did do that, wouldn't that be a conflict of interest by having two different cryptocurrencies?
Honestly, the legality here gets really weird of it because
it's not really regulated.
Right, exactly.
But I do smell Elon's touch on this.
Do you think he's got holdings?
I bet.
Let's go look this up.
I bet he's got holdings.
It's probably not possible to look it up.
Yeah, look up. Does Elon? I don't know.
I mean, you can look it up. Does he? What is it? Does Elon?
Oh, I'll look it up. Is Elon Musk involved?
Commondreams.org. No, I don't see anything else. There's nothing really on it, at least from my end here.
What the second article is Elon. How old is this? Oh, this is from December. I must have missed this. Elon Musk changes his name to Kikius Maximus on X.
Oh, yeah. You didn't see that?
I didn't see that one. But that's the only thing that comes up.
Yeah.
Donald and Melania Trump have launched a cryptocurrency meme. Trump flips Pepe SHIB to become second largest. No, second largest? Get out of here.
Second largest what?
Trump flips Pepe and SHIB to become second largest meme coin. Market cap exceeds $13 billion. This is of 16 hours ago.
Wow.
Jesus, he's made a ton of money.
Trump or Elon? Both?
No, Trump.
Trump.
I guess. Wait. With a current market cap of around $13.5 billion, Trump only trails Dogecoin, the popular meme coin in favor of Elon Musk, co-leader of the Department of Government Efficiency. Under the incoming Trump administration, Dogecoin's market value sits at around $54 billion as of the latest data. Okay, so if Elon's in charge of government efficiency,
right,
and Trump's the president,
mm-hmm.
but they both are basically owners
of a
meme coin,
and they choose to buy this coin for Federal Reserve reasons. Collusion.
Bitcoin. This is weird. This is going to get weirder and weirder.
Yeah, the more you talk, the more I get concerned. I like this gringo.
CoffeeZilla. CoffeeZilla is the guy on X and on YouTube and whatnot that exposed the Haktua girl for her meme disaster, or whatever she was doing. So he says, dropping Trump meme coin 2 days before becoming president is nasty work. New SEC DOJ guarantees no prosecution. You can't say that. 80% of tokens vest to insiders during the presidency. Okay. Most people losing money will be MAGA who aren't crypto native. Okay. Should be a crime, but crime is legal now, I guess. Okay.
People just commenting on it.
I mean, there's so many questions here because it just came out.
I don't even know what to talk about. I don't even know what comment to make. It's honestly weird.
Yeah, I mean, if don't buy stuff, don't invest if you don't know what you're doing. But this is crazy. He's now.
What, you don't like meme coin?
I don't like people getting taken advantage of.
No, me neither.
Especially people who probably
doesn't smell right. This doesn't smell right.
Yeah, this is something's weird. I don't want to say anybody's doing anything illegal or bad, but I'm just saying it's just, I don't know. It just doesn't. It doesn't. Something doesn't feel right. Something doesn't feel right about it. Anyway, so I guess we'll have to keep an eye on Trump's cryptocurrency.
You know, speaking of keeping an eye out on things, any headlines about pardons?
No pardons yet.
Gringo, he can't sign anything tomorrow, really.
He can sign anything he wants up until noontime.
That's not gonna happen.
He can sign whatever he wants.
Gringo, look at me. Look at the camera.
I'm telling
you. Gringo, kiss that dinner goodbye.
There's more pardons
coming. There's a hat
coming.
on my way.
There's more pardons coming.
The hat coming my way.
Okay, so, well, the inauguration will be tomorrow. It'll be fun. Apparently, our president is more of a multi-billionaire than he was before. Fine, whatever. As long as innocent people don't lose money or get hurt, that's fine. I don't care. TikTok's back, and California's still on fire. So our final story of the day, Southern California, and this is from today's news. Southern California faces most urgent warning for strong winds, extreme fire danger. This is something that you would have thought would have been written 2 weeks ago. Forecasters in Southern California expect to issue a particularly dangerous situation red flag warning for the coming week as the Santa Ana wind forecast worsens. The Santa Ana wind forecast for Southern California has worsened, with officials saying the conditions will bring, quote, risk of large fire growth beginning tomorrow, Monday.
Woo! And by woo, I mean no.
The National Weather Service office in Oxnard on Sunday issued the most extreme version of its red flag fire weather warning, known as a particularly dangerous situation alert. A large swath of Los Angeles and Ventura counties are likely to be affected, including burn areas in Malibu and Altadena. Altadena is gone. I don't know what else is left to burn.
Yeah, I don't know why you put... I mean, yeah, I guess put a warning out there, but...
They warned residents to prepare for the event, which is expected to start at noon Monday and continue till 10 a.m. Tuesday. Looks like we're watching fires again tomorrow night while we watch the football. Gusts of 50 to 70 mile per hour winds are forecast for the coasts and valleys. In the mountains, in the foothills, gusts from 60 to 80, with isolated gusts of 100 miles per hour are expected. Quote, we encourage people to prepare that evacuation plan for you, your loved one, pets, pack essentials, get that emergency go bag ready just in case, fill up gas for cars and generators. That's great. You know. Secure outdoor items and adjust travel plans, said Rochon, a Weather Service meteorologist.
Do you really want to be near gas during a wildfire? Right. Let's be honest here.
In addition to Malibu and Altadena, the warning also includes Burbank, Santa Clarita, Oxnard, Thousand Oaks, and Azusa. Ojai and Pasadena both fall outside the boundaries, Schoenfeld said. That's a large goddamn... Jeez. Oy. So these people can't catch a break.
No.
If these fires kick back up again, it's going to burn the rest of Los Angeles. I mean, how much of Los Angeles is left?
Not much.
At least, downtown, sure. There are already wide swaths. Los Angeles, San Diego, Orange, Riverside, San Bernardino, and Ventura counties are all under a critical fire weather condition warning, a conventional red flag warning. I mean, do they have water? I mean, that's the thing. We stopped talking about this a week ago or days ago. I mean, is there water left? I mean, apparently California's just going to continue to burn. I haven't seen anything from the governor. I haven't seen anything. Oh, but did you see the mayor come out and be like, give this like talk? And she's like, got this smile on her face, and she's outside the emergency operations center, and she's like thanking people. It's like she's giving like an award acceptance speech or something like that. She's like giving some sort of pep talk. We're in this together. I was like, well, what are you doing? There are still fires burning. What are you giving this speech for? No one wants to hear this speech. No one wants to hear us talk about deregulation. First of all, the deregulation bullshit. Don't be fooled. Yes, the governor and the mayor and whoever else is going to say, we're going to cut all this red tape. But it doesn't matter because they cannot change building codes.
Right.
So these houses that were built in the 60s and the 70s and 80s.
Now have to upgrade everything. The foundation's got to go.
Yeah.
Tanks, like septic tanks is the big problem because they're what? One tank? They're
One
single
tank
tanks.
now-
Now they want like three tank or 3-chamber tanks.
Yeah, they're 3-chamber tank and different, I guess, the different types of foundations. So now if you had a house that was worth $1 million and it burned down and you want to rebuild it and you say, oh yeah, all the regulations and the red tape's been cut, but you can't build what your house was. You have to rebuild it with the new codes. You're adding sometimes up to $1 million. You're almost doubling the price of these people aren't going to be able to rebuild. But these politicians, Bass and Newsom, they're in front of the camera smiling, giving these speeches that mean nothing. And meanwhile, the Oscars, they're like, yeah, we're going to continue to have our award show. No, you cancel your award. No one cares in Los Angeles about your award show right now. Everything's on fire. Even the celebrities whose houses are burnt down are starting to come out and be like, this is ridiculous. Yeah, it is ridiculous. But I mean, if they're not prepared for this event, okay, let's just say they were not prepared. They were caught off guard last time, right? 2 weeks ago. If this time these fires, first of all, it's already the largest natural disaster or most expensive natural disaster in the history of the country. But if this time around they get caught off guard or things get out of control, there's really no excuse. There is absolutely no excuse because those reservoirs should be filled. Whatever water needed to be diverted should have been diverted already. Whatever preparations needed to be done should have already been done. Whatever firefighters that should have been called in should have been called in already. So this should be handled very easily. But if it's not, we're going to see. But I don't know. My confidence is not there. My confidence is definitely not there for this.
No, it is not.
So
this has just been. I mean, how long has these fires been going on for?
A couple of weeks now.
And they've gotten a decent hold on it.
A week and a half.
Best.
Say a week and a half.
Yeah, a week and a half. They have a decent hold. I mean, how many fires are still going again? If you said earlier,
there's like 4 or 5 still going.
Yeah, so it's still a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. This is 5 hours ago. This is what caused them, and I don't trust anybody. I don't trust the news to tell me what caused those things. This is, here we go. San Francisco. No, we don't want San Francisco. Latest on the Eaton fire and Palisades fire. Okay. They're talking about the winds returning. The Palisades fire is now 52% contained. And the Eaton fire is 81% contained. More than 2 dozen deaths are believed to be linked to the fires. Out-of-state firefighters began to demobilize Saturday to head back home amid crews' better containment of the fires. Maybe they shouldn't send them home just yet.
Yeah, maybe make sure that the fire's fully put out, boys. I mean, I know they deserve a break, but they'll get a long vacation after, I hope,
Oh, do not drink the water alert remains in effect for the Pacific Palisades area. Well, yeah, I guess you can't because it's probably filled with all sorts of crap now from the burning. Health issues, windblown dust and ash. We know that. We live next to a volcano. That sucks. 2 people used a fire truck purchased at an auction to impersonate firefighters in the Pacific Palisades. I wonder why they were doing that. Oh, they're probably looking to loot. That's nice. Who? I mean, really, you gotta be dedicated. If you're gonna go buy a fire engine, like a full blown fire truck, you're gonna go buy that at auction. I'm sure it wasn't cheap.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure you paid a pretty
penny.
Just to go looting. You're really dedicated. Officials also learned that the pair had been in the area for a couple of days. All right. They had gear. They had radios, everything. They were booked at the Malibu Lost Hills police station. The cases will be presented to the district attorney's office to consider charges. Yeah, possible looting. Yeah. That's crazy. You bought a fire truck to go looting. So, yeah, there's absolutely no excuse if they're not ready for this. So, oh man, I feel bad for everybody. I feel bad for everybody, but it is what it is at this point. What are you doing? Playing Pokemon?
I got some battles going on here while I talk to you.
So I keep looking over you. Your head's down. You got your iPad. You kind of shielding it away from me.
No, I'm not shielding it on purpose or anything.
Playing Pokemon. Where's your mind at? You need some coffee.
This is keeping me up. The
Pokemon is keeping you up.
This and the conversation. You know me, ADHD. I'm back and forth. I need two things going on here.
I don't think so. I see. It's so focused on the Pokemon. You're addicted to that game.
No,
you have a problem. You need help.
Well, no. What are you talking about?
You need an intervention.
Intervention.
I think since you know what, since you're still linked to me as family sharing, and I'm the head of the family share,
right?
I can delete your thing.
This is on Safari.
God damn it!
Yeah, I outplayed you.
Oh, it's not an app.
No, this is a different one. This is different from the one.
Wait a minute. How many Pokemon games are you playing right now?
Do I have?
Do you have? Okay, let's start with it. How many Pokemon games do you have at your disposal?
That's a great question, Gringo. Too many.
Okay, well, how many?
I've got Pokemon Go, right? I've got the TCG Online.
Okay.
I play Showdown occasionally. I do like random battles. I used to team build, but now there's so many new generations. It's so many new mechanics. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Okay.
So that's what I'm on now. And then there's all the DS games I have, which is, let's see, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I don't have Diamond Pearl. I do have Black or White, one of the two.
Stop.
I have like 10 of those DS
You're not one of those nut jobs that goes running into Costco to start fights over Pokemon cards, are you?
No, but I knew people who would.
Okay. Did they come out down here, or was it only a U.S. thing?
What? Which one?
Those Pokemon cards that came out that people were fighting over.
Oh, that's all over the place.
Oh, that's all over the place.
Yeah.
So we could walk into Costco here and they might have them.
They probably wouldn't.
Why?
People probably took them. Granted, the Spanish versions aren't worth as much.
Oh, so, okay.
English and Japanese is what you want.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's why I don't buy Spanish comics.
They're not worth it. Exactly. Same thing there. Yeah. Unless it's in a native language or in the American good old English language, it's not worth anything. Okay. I mean, it still has some value, but it's not as much.
Okay. But you're just enthralled. I really do think you need help.
No, help? That's crazy. I do also have like hats I'm looking at.
It's not over.
It's over.
It's not over.
It's over. Gringo.
When Trump takes the oath,
coming.
When Trump takes the oath,
it's not coming.
Then we'll say the bet is over.
No.
But as of right now, I still think you have
at 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, when he's sitting in the Capitol, you think he's gonna be like, hold on, I gotta sign this order real quick.
Maybe
it's not happening. Gringo, 9 o'clock, it's pretty much over because by then he's in the Capitol. Unless he does it within these next few hours.
You can sign a piece of paper wherever.
Tomorrow morning. It's not happening.
Get a stamp.
It's not happening.
I'm just saying.
Gringo, kiss your dinner goodbye.
I'm just saying.
Kiss it goodbye.
I'm just saying the bet is not over
This
yet.
is where hopefulness kills you.
It's not hopefulness. It's just
hope.
Patience.
It's not patience.
I have patience.
Gringo, you have about 2 hours realistically. Because actually, he's probably asleep by now.
He's been asleep for 6 hours.
He's asleep still probably till tomorrow morning. Gringo, it's over. When we wake up, I'm gonna look at you and be like, check the headlines. Their pardon.
I'm just saying.
And you need 3 even. 1 isn't good enough. 2 is not good enough. 3. Well, if you get 2, I'll be like, well, Gringo, you were right. They did sign 2 pardons.
Well, I've already got your hat. I already have your hat picked out.
No, I pick a hat.
That wasn't part of the bet.
That was part of the bet. You asked me which hat I would like. I was like, oh, I'll pick a bit. We could go back. It's recorded, Gringo.
I don't recall saying that at all.
Gringo, it's recorded. It's on tape.
Sombrero.
Gringo, it's on tape. It's on tape, Gringo.
Nice Mexican sombrero. Gringo, maybe the ones with the little hangy, little fuzzy balls.
This is like those. What's the guy who's I'm trying to find his name before. This is like a.
I'm just saying.
This is like a Chris Hansen moment. It's like it's on tape. We have you on. We have the record.
A Chris Hansen moment. It's a horrible thing to say.
I got you on tape.
It's a horrible thing.
Saying
I have nothing to do with Chris Hansen. Jesus, what the hell is that? Oh, terrible person.
Anyways, let's talk about some Diddy parties.
No
more headlines on that.
No more headlines on that.
No baby oil.
You know what?
Costco's been quiet lately. You know.
What I've been really? It's been really slow. January's always slow for like pop culture news.
Absolutely.
Like there's really nothing good come out. Video games have been extremely slow. Like the one thing I got looking forward to is the re-release of Jedi Power Battles.
And that comes out of what? Tomorrow?
The 23rd.
23rd.
And that's a 20-year-old game.
Right. That's rough.
That's been redone. And granted, I can't wait to see it and can't wait to have it. I've already purchased it. It'll download it by itself. But there's not much in the way of video game news coming out. There's not much. I mean, nothing good. It's really just sort of like this deep dark hole of nothingness.
Well, January early years always that. It's always
movies,
like you
TV
build a pipe.
shows.
This is the time you build up hype. This is like, hey, look forward to this month or look forward to fall because this comes out. Start saving. Pre-order.
In February, you got what? Captain America 4, and you got just a bunch of other BS movies come out.
What other movies do you know? You have a list there, don't you?
I had a list somewhere. I forgot what it was. But like the biggest one is Captain America 4. But other than that, there's nothing really of note.
Are you excited for that one, though?
No.
I know. Well, it's got Han Solo.
That's not Han Solo.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I mean, he plays Han Solo, but
exactly my point. You're gonna geek out the whole time, and be like, "Oh, Han!"
No, I'm not gonna geek. Although I wonder what kind of popcorn bucket they'll have for it. Maybe I'll collect a popcorn bucket this time for it. So we'll see. But with that, it is Sunday night on the East Coast. It's well past midnight, and we're gonna call it.
No, it's 11 o'clock there. No, you're only an hour ahead.
Are they only an hour ahead?
They haven't jumped ahead yet.
They haven't jumped ahead yet.
Yeah,
okay, so it's past 11 o'clock there.
Nearly midnight.
It's 11:15 then. So with that, we're going to call it a night. We're going to get something to eat. We're going to go play some video games. And we'll be back tomorrow with more. We will be streaming all day. So check in with us and we'll have some fun with the inauguration. And it should be a good time. I think it'll be a good time.
I think so. We'll have other stuff to talk about while proceedings are going on, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. We got tons of stuff going on. Plus, we'll probably,
we also have college football tomorrow.
Yeah, college football. We could do the inauguration. We could put it on the Spanish channel and just see how they do it. And just everything in Spanish.
I don't even know if they'll have it on down here.
Oh, yeah, they'll have it on down
here. They'll have it on for a little bit, like the moment, and then after that, they'll turn it off.
Maybe.
That's usually how it goes.
It'll be interesting. Maybe, when he's done swearing on the Bible, and say, you are now the president, they all go, go! No?
Go!
Or president? I don't know.
Or they do the other thing.
No, don't do that thing. So, with that, all right, we're going to call it a night. Thank you to everybody checking in. Appreciate you. And, we'll check you all tomorrow.
Salud.
And I'll wave at everybody.
Adios. Buenas noches.